Good morning, everybody, and how are you all this fine morning? Now, I really couldn't let you leave Plymouth without telling you about all these amazing people who've been there and all these amazing voyages that started here. Now, at first glance, Plymouth isn't the prettiest of town, but you know what? This isn't Tinder. It's not always the prettiest girls who are the most interesting, and it does have its absolutely gorgeous beauty spots. Of course, it's got the gorgeous Smeaton Tower, built by a guy called Henry Winstanley, who is a very, very, very funny man. And if you ever wanted to read a biography about a guy you've never heard of, he is the one. Now, another very famous lady who lived here was Nancy Astor, of course, the first female member of parliament here in Britain, despite the fact that she was actually from the United States. And Nancy Astor was that lady who was famously seated next to Winston Churchill, who she despised, and said, "Sir, if you were my husband, I would give you poison." And Churchill very, very quickly remarked, "Madam, if you were my wife, I would take it." Obviously, no love lost there. Now, another very, very famous two people with the same name, no relation as far as I know, is of course Beryl Cook. Now, Beryl Cook is a great artist. She does these wonderful, voluptuous ladies in swimsuit, and of course James Cook, Captain Cook. Every time Captain Cook went around the world, he just found new things, and you can just see the maps. I was like, oh God, really? Please, come on. Yet another sail. So they keep having to redraw the maps every time he came back from his journeys. But of course, there was loads more. Lawrence of Arabia became Larry of Plymouth after his adventures in the Middle East. There's the big Mill Bay docks where everybody came, Gloria Swanson, Laurel and Hardy, Walt Disney, anybody was there, even Charlie Chaplin. Napoleon, he was like displayed like a zoo animal in one of those bays near the harbour before he went to exile in 1815. But the one thing that you think of Plymouth is, of course, the Pilgrims, the Mayflower Pilgrims. Now, there's a couple of things I need to tell you, which are all true, but they might dispel some of the mystery of it. Now, first of all, the Pilgrims, they may have been pure in thought, but as they decided not to change because it wouldn't be pure for almost 2 months, they probably didn't smell all that pure afterwards when they finally arrived. And then they arrived in Plymouth. How lucky was that? Start in Plymouth, arrive in Plymouth. Now, the other one is that, the Pilgrim Steps there in Plymouth, they were actually not the real Pilgrim Steps because the harbour was completely different, and these were built in 1933, and the real ones are underneath the ladies' toilet in the Admiral McBride pub next to it. But don't tell anyone I said that. But the one thing that I like about the the Pilgrims, the Mayflower Pilgrims, is, of course, one of them brought 126 shoes. I know. You ask yourself, how does he manage on just 126 pair of shoes? But the amusing thing about the Pilgrims and Plymouth, of course, Plymouth has made a lot of money, and with its association with the Mayflower Pilgrims, and there's 44 Plymouths in US alone to commemorate that wonderful journey. But you know what? There are, out of all these people, all these amazing people who have started their voyages in Plymouth, these are the ones who had no connection whatsoever with Plymouth, didn't know a soul, stayed for a couple of weeks at the best. But they started in Southampton, not in Plymouth. Got into bad weather, went into Plymouth for safe harbour, and then went on again. So no connection with Plymouth whatsoever. Never So in my world, those Pilgrim steps would maybe be called Darwin steps or Drake steps or whatever. But don't tell the people from Plymouth that. So now I hope one day, my moustache will stay on. But I hope one day me and you will be able to see beautiful, beautiful Britain and beautiful Plymouth together again. And I promise by that time I will have had a haircut. Bye. Love you. Take care.